Jack and the Whimsical Beanstalk. In a quaint little village surrounded by rolling green hills and lush forests, there lived a young boy named Jack with his kind-hearted mother. Their house, a cozy cottage with a thatched roof and a blooming garden, was the epitome of countryside charm. However, life for Jack and his mother was not without its hardships. They were poor, with their only source of income being a cow named Bessie, who was more of a family member than livestock. Jack was known throughout the village for his quick wit and endless jokes. His laughter was as contagious as a yawn, spreading cheer even on the gloomiest days.
"Why did the cow cross the road?"
he would ask, and without waiting for an answer say,
"To get to the other side,"
causing his mother to chuckle despite their worries. One sunny morning, Jack's mother came with a heavy heart and a decision that couldn't be avoided.
"Jack, my dear,"
she began, her voice laced with sadness.
"Bessie hasn't given milk for days now. We have no choice but to sell her at the market."
Jack's heart sank. He loved Bessie. She was his companion on many meadow adventures. As Jack led Bessie down the winding path to the market, he tried to lighten the mood.
"Hey, Bessie, why don't cows have any money?"
he asked, glancing at the cow.
"Because farmers milk them dry."
He laughed, but Bessie just mooed, unamused. That's when they met the old man with twinkling eyes and a mysterious air about him.
"My, that's a fine cow you have there, young man. How would you like to trade her for these magic beans?"
he offered, his hand revealing beans that shimmered in the sunlight. Jack's eyes widened.
"Magic beans? Do they grow chocolate bars?"
His imagination ran wild with the possibilities of magic beans. Against his better judgment, he made the trade. When Jack returned home and showed the beans to his mother, she was less than thrilled.
"Oh, Jack. We can't eat magic beans,"
she lamented as she threw them out the window. That night, as they slept, the beans sprouted into an enormous beanstalk, reaching high into the sky above the clouds. The next morning, Jack awoke to find the beanstalk's towering presence. It was like nothing he had ever seen.
"Mother, look, the beans really were magic,"
he exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. His mother, though worried, knew there was no stopping Jack's adventurous spirit. With a sandwich in his pocket and a spring in his step, Jack began his climb. The beanstalk felt sturdy under his feet, like a ladder to the heavens. He climbed higher and higher, leaving his village far below. Jack's ascent up the beanstalk was like climbing into a storybook. With each pull and heave, he ascended through clouds that felt like cotton candy. Halfway up, Jack paused, chuckling to himself.
"I hope this beanstalk has an elevator on the way down,"
he mused aloud. As he climbed higher, the world he knew became a miniature painting below. Finally, Jack reached the top and found himself in a land that defied all logic. Giant carrots grew like trees, and enormous butterflies fluttered by, their wings shimmering like stained glass.
"I guess I'm not in York anymore,"
Jack quipped, referencing a story his mother had read to him. Stepping into this new world, Jack's jaw dropped at the sight of an immense castle. It was as if the building itself had feasted on the magical beans. Cautiously, Jack tiptoed towards it, hiding behind a colossal pumpkin when he heard thunderous footsteps. Peeking out, he saw the most enormous feet he'd ever seen.
"I sure hope you're not the local pedicurist."
Sneaking into the castle, Jack found himself in a kitchen where everything was supersized. He couldn't help but laugh at the sight of a mouse running away with a whole cheese wheel.
"Now that's what I call a takeout,"
he chuckled. As he explored further, Jack stumbled upon the giant, who was trying to put on a pair of glasses but kept missing his ears.
"Need a hand or maybe a ladder?"
Jack joked from his hiding spot. The giant, Mr. Thunderguff, was surprisingly friendly but terribly nearsighted. Mr. Thunderguff explained that he was trying to read his favorite cookbook,
How to Make the Perfect Gravy.
Jack, in exchange for not being turned into a snack, offered to help the giant with his culinary experiments. The kitchen soon filled with laughter and the aroma of bizarre, yet delicious, giant-sized recipes. In one hilarious incident, Jack tried to make an omelet but ended up surfing on the egg as it spilled across the kitchen floor.
"I always wanted to try extreme sports,"
he exclaimed. Jack also discovered a harp that complained about being out of tune.
"I guess you could use a note of confidence."
Jack quipped, plucking its strings and sending musical laughter echoing through the halls. As he spent time in the giant's world, Jack realized that Mr. Thunderguff was lonely. The giant's gruff exterior was just a facade to mask his solitude. Jack's journey in the giant's world was filled with laughter and unexpected friendship. He learned that humor could build bridges, even between a boy and a giant. And as for Mr. Thunderguff, he found a friend who saw past his size and loved him for his giant heart. As days passed in the giant's world, Jack and Mr. Thunderguff formed an unlikely duo. However, Jack couldn't forget his mother back home.
Mr. Thunderguff,
Jack started one evening.
I need to return home. My mother must be worried sick.
The giant, though sad, understood. He handed Jack a bag of golden coins.
Jack, you've brought so much joy into my life. Let me give you something in return.
Mr. Thunderguff added with a tearful smile.
And remember, laughter is the greatest treasure.
Jack, with a heart full of memories and a bag full of gold, bid farewell. He slid down the beanstalk, laughing all the way down as he remembered the giant's antics. Upon reaching home, Jack's mother was overjoyed.
Jack, you've returned, and you are laughing?
She exclaimed, puzzled yet relieved.
Mother, I've had the most incredible adventure.
Jack said, sharing his tales of the giant, the oversized kitchen escapades, and the lessons he learned. He then showed her the bag of gold. With the newfound wealth, Jack and his mother revitalized their home and helped rejuvenate the village. They bought a new cow, one that gave the creamiest milk, and even opened a bakery, aptly named the Laughing Loaf. Jack's mother, once worried and weary, found a new lease on life. She baked bread that was as warm as her smile, all thanks to the joy Jack had brought back. The village, too, transformed. With Jack's stories spreading, laughter became as common as the bread from their bakery. The villagers often gathered around to hear Jack recount his adventures, his humor bringing everyone closer. Jack learned that courage wasn't just about facing giants. It was about facing the unknown with a laugh. And so Jack's tale ended not with the end, but with laughter, echoing the sentiment that sometimes the best adventures are those that bring a smile to our faces and warmth to our hearts.